Welcome to your Region This Week. I'm Andy Carroll-Woolery. In this episode, Waterloo Region's top cop talks about the uptick in replica and imitation firearms, and May is Mental Health Month. Recognizing everyone experiences mental health challenges, it's okay to not be okay. A look at resources available to help those struggling. But first, here's a look at the headlines with Carla Fitzsimmons.
Thanks, Andy. A Guelph police officer is facing assault charges after an interaction with a citizen in January. On January 13th, a 13-year member with the service had an interaction with a member of the public at an unspecified location, which led to a public complaint with Guelph Police Service. Halton Regional Police conducted an investigation into the interaction and charged the officer with assault. According to a press release from Guelph Police Service, the officer has been reassigned to administrative duties. The officer's first court appearance is on June 13th. The Professional Standards Branch of Guelph Police Service will continue the investigation. The Kitchener Rangers Auditorium renovation plan includes a $2 million city-owned restaurant. The proposed renovations are aimed to enhance Rangers franchise status with new facilities, including the city-funded restaurant, to elevate fan experience.
It's an absolute pleasure because I want to talk about what's happening at our beloved Memorial Auditorium over this off-season. Another renovation, not the kind that's going to add more seats, but really what we're looking at here, Joe, is upgrades and updates to the player facilities.
Yeah, as the landscape in hockey has changed so quickly, Mike, we as a staff, I say we, Mike McKenzie, Adam Bramhill from the business side, UC and coaching staff have been doing our best to prep for it. And it wasn't if, it was when changes are coming. And I continued to say to our staff, when changes come, what are we going to do to keep raising the bar? What's within our control? What's within our space? What is it that we can do to really improve player experience and player development? And when we started to challenge ourselves, we said, you know what, we can do better with our dressing room. And we had to get creative because of space challenges in this big, beautiful old building that we had. And so it's one move has triggered two other moves, which is sort of the where we're going to end up doing sort of three major areas of work. But the driving force here in what we're doing is improving our player experience and improving our player amenities. So we'll have a now almost a 6,000 square foot player dressing room, a new office space, which will then lead to a new media room and scouts room, which you guys will enjoy, and then the city will piggyback hopefully off of that with a restaurant within the facility itself. So significant work, but we're very excited for it.
The restaurant piece is something that you mentioned the city could piggyback on, which makes some sense while you're doing the work anyway and you're upgrading these facilities. The city has an opportunity here to put up $2 million of its money. What does the report tell us that the city could gain from this?
Yeah, I think, once again, the building offers so much to our fan, and not just for the 40 or plus Ranger nights, right? I mean, there's the Home and Garden Show. There's amazing cheerleading events that exist there. There's all the youth hockey events that go there, concerts, so on and so forth. 130 or 140 nights over the course of a calendar year, the odd is bringing in significant events. So to be able to have a full functioning restaurant that maybe serves as a dual purpose for a concert, maybe a special VIP area, I believe that they feel that there's a great benefit to it. And I think, as beautiful as the Subscribers Lounge is, it has served an amazing purpose for the way that it looks and feels for, 50 to 70 so years. It needs an upgrade.
Calling all students, Family and Children's Services Foundation is hosting an upcoming competition that will have students turning lemons into lemonade. It's called the Lemon Twist Competition.
We're having a big media kickoff on May 21st. It's called Lemon Twist. It's going to be held right here in the Family Center, and we're going to have local children competing to see who can squeeze the most lemons We'll have a fun prize, we'll have media here and dignitaries, and it'll be a really big way for us to sort of really get that message out to our community, because the more stands we have, the more families we have participating, the more money we can raise, and the more kids we can send to camp. We are doing our second annual Lemonade event, and this is a really fun activity that's going to happen across the region on Saturday, June 7th, where children, their families, businesses can set up a lemonade stand, and when you get a lemonade stand, it will look exactly like this. We provide the entire stand thanks to Activa, who is our primary sponsor. So you get your lemonade stand, you can set up a fundraising page, they can sell lemonade for the day, get together with all their friends and family, and kids can raise money to help kids. So kids helping kids, and every cup counts, because 100% of the proceeds from Lemonade Day go to sending local children to camp in this region, and that's really critically important.
A St. Mary's cheesemaker took home 4 international awards at the 2025 Sino Canada International Cheese Competition in Toronto. Stone Town Artisan Cheese was named Best Canadian Cow Milk, along with Best Firm Cheese, and for its Gruyere-style Grand Truck, it captured both the Best Swiss Style and Best Cheese in the competition as grand champion. The Brantford and Area Sports Hall of Fame recognition has announced this year's class of 2025 inductees. This ceremony will take place on Wednesday, June 11th at the Sports Hall located inside the Wayne Gretzky Sports Center. Stay connected with City News Kitchener. You will find what's making headlines here at home and around the world. Looking for traffic and weather information plus the latest prices at the pumps? Click on the tabs to find out. Watch, listen, stay connected with City News Kitchener.
Coming up, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. A look at how to access resources.
The idea behind it is that we need to get people talking about their mental health. There is still a stigma associated with mental health.
Have you ever thought about just how much politics you speak about just in your own kitchen or in your living room? Or how many important ideas are shared or solutions to some of the world's biggest problems? Well, you're in luck, because I'm inviting some of my friends to come and speak to me about everyday politics, and I'm bringing my living room to you. So join me on Wednesday evenings from 6 until 7 for Everyday Politics with Laura May Lindo.
Ani, I'm Carolyn King, and I'm a member of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and the creator of the Moccasin Identifier. Philip Cote, an artist in Toronto here, took and redrew real moccasins. We're starting over with the children. The idea is that they would research whose land their school is built on, near, or what treaty area they're in. And the educational kit that we have has all that information in there. And the children just, love it. My dream is that this province will be covered with moccasin identifiers within the next decade, and they will forever know whose land they're on. That's the goal. Educate and awareness with a nice, simple little program called the Moccasin Identifier.
After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home. You could call your favorite cab company or 1-888 taxi guy. Or you could use the Arrive Alive smartphone app to help you choose your ride. Be it a friend, transit, or taxi, getting home safely is app easy. Now available for iOS and Android devices. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
Replica and imitation firearms remain an issue across Waterloo Region, as Police Chief Mark Kroll spoke with Mike Farwell about this earlier this week.
An ever more present concern, and officers who are on the streets, like Scott's traffic officers that are interacting very frequently, they are seeing real and imitation firearms show up on their traffic stops. And so to give you a sense, over the past 5 years, we've seized an average of about 164 imitation firearms a year. And over that same period, we're looking at about an average of 10 incidents a year where we're laying charges with the use of an imitation firearm. And so what people are doing, and it's not rocket science, is people are purposely using and carrying weapons to intimidate, to threaten, and because they look and feel like real guns. And so whether it's a robbery, whether it's a carjacking, we've talked about, anything like that, it can be deemed to be real until we prove that it's not. And so people have ready access to things you can purchase in the store, you can purchase online, 3D printed replicas as well. They're made to look real, and the criminal code has charges to reflect that as well. They recognize that a real firearm that's pointed or displayed to somebody has that same impact as a real one. So just to give you a couple examples, just in the past 2 months, in March of last year at Fairview Park Mall, there was a youth at the mall threatening with a baseball bat and a firearm. They were arrested and found to be in possession of a replica firearm. And just in April, Victoria Park, a group of young men brandishing a firearm towards parkgoers, we intervened and laid various weapons-related charges in relation to a replica firearm.
Kroll also addressed the use of body-worn cameras and how this technology shows accountability.
Right now, as of January, February of this year, every one of our frontline officers that you will see in public, they very likely have a body-worn camera, and that's all of our specialized teams as well that are deployed. We also have in-car camera technology that allows a front view of our traffic stops, and also when somebody's in custody within the police cruiser, we're capturing that interaction from multiple lenses. All of this has helped us to resolve complaints, to hold accountability for behavior. So an example could be impaired driving behavior. We're now capturing the slurring, the interactions. We're capturing when we're issuing rights to counsel. We're capturing any of the abusive behavior that people sometimes display. So all of that has helped to increase accountability on all sides, and we're proud of the work that going into to raising that bar with transparency of our work. And it has dividends on resolving complaints, but also showing to the courts exactly what we're dealing with in real time.
Still with policing, Kroll discussed the handling of this year's St. Patrick's Day gathering in Waterloo. Here's what he had to say.
I think I want to emphasize from the start, this is an unsanctioned gathering. We are planning and responding for something that we don't control in terms of where people choose to be and the behaviors that they exhibit. And we have had some success over the past decade of managing the crowd. So, I mean, this is a whole big conversation, but the purpose of the fencing on Ezra Street is because the congestion grew from 3,000 to over 30,000 within the course of a couple years. The danger to the people crammed into that corridor became so unsustainable and unsafe. That's the purpose of that. We are not dictating where people gather. There's probably tens of thousands of people that are out within that vicinity over the course of the weekend. And to your point, people have chosen to congregate on Marshall Street. I can tell you that we're doing every single thing that we can within our powers to manage this, manage the risk, the strain, and the cost. Over $300,000 in the past year was spent managing this from a total deployment over 4 days. And if we are to move to a strict enforcement capacity, we're talking about hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars to deploy officers into that corridor. And so I could spend a lot of time unpacking the risk, the liability, and the planning that goes into it, but we're not accepting that this is a way to be, and we're doing everything we can to work with the partners to find solutions to reduce any of that risk and liability. So your frustration is valid. Ours is the same. There's a big difference between being in enforcement mode versus public protection mode. And if there's any successes over the past year, for a gathering of 25,000 within a short, place, vicinity, and tens of thousands beyond, there's no catastrophic injury, no catastrophic violence, and the public disruption was concentrated. Lessons will be learned, and I understand the frustration. This may not be an acceptable answer, but I can tell you we're doing everything we can to responsibly manage this. New solutions need to be found moving forward.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. We spoke with Tracy Elop from Camino Wellbeing and Mental Health about the importance of reaching out for help.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and specifically the week of May 2nd to 7th is Mental Health Awareness Week in Canada. And the idea behind it is that we need to get people talking about their mental health. There is still a stigma associated with mental health in many people's minds. And the idea of having a month where we encourage people to talk about their mental health, talk about how they're doing, is really, really important to break down some of that stigma. People are doing better, and we can do even better. So I think we all acknowledge that the pandemic, there would be a shadow pandemic of mental health challenges. And so I think that did encourage people to talk a little bit more. But the reality of it is that people everywhere are struggling with their mental health. If we think about all of the difficulties in the world right now, the anxieties, with tariffs, with political situations, and with some of the communities that are being harmed by some of the rhetoric, there is mental health challenge everywhere. And behind every door you go into, there is likely someone who's struggling, whether that's a neighbor or a friend, somebody maybe in your own household. And I think, even the people who seemingly have it all together, some of them are struggling too. And the idea of being able to openly talk about how you care for yourself and the struggles that you're facing and the help that you're getting, all that does is encourage other people to come forward and openly share about their struggles. And that's how we're going to get this out in the open. Camino Wellbeing and Mental Health means you don't really need to know what's happening with you. The well-being part of our name is the invitation in. And if you call us and tell us what's happening with you, then we will help connect you to service. And we offer lots of different services, right from sort of earlier intervention, prevention services, all the way to clinical counseling and support. And so I think the hardest thing for people is to make that first phone call or to go online if that's easier for many people. Go online and you can book an appointment with someone in our wayfinding team, and they will help you sort that out.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running. You could always call your girlfriend. Or maybe your roommate? What about your best friend? You could just dial 1-888-TAXI-GUY or use the Taxi Guy app. The call and the app are free, and they both connect you to a local cab company to bring you home safely. Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
Kitchener's perfect music mix is on Chime 96.7. So every song is someone's favorite song. On Chime 96.7.
Are you ready?
You have no permits.
Shower in a closet.
We're here to fix it.
We got it. You at the right place, look no further.
On May 22nd, KW Oktoberfest Rogers Women of the Year pays tribute to outstanding women in our community, and you can be a part of the celebration. Get your tickets today at womenoftheyear.ca.
Hey, what's up? We're Chris and Cam, host of What's Buzzin', right here on Rogers TV.
We talk about local trends, we interview local guests, and we overall just have a lot of fun.
8 p.m. Wednesday nights on Rogers TV.
Stay tuned.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university. So they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
In sports, 519 Sports Online caught up with the under-18 coach at Red and Black weekend held at University of Waterloo. 90 players are vying for roster spots with Team Ontario for this summer's Canada Cup in Nova Scotia.
It's been phenomenal. Getting kids together from all across the province has really been the largest driver of this, bringing together the football community, the football family, what football is all about, getting them here, participating, getting coached at a high level, competing at a high level. It's been phenomenal for us. For the young men, getting a chance to sit down and get in meetings and watch film, at a higher level, preparing them for the next level in their career has been awesome for their development. So it's been a great weekend. Super excited for tomorrow, being able to kick off in the Red-Black game. Creates an opportunity for some kids that may not have the same views in certain regions that they play in. Getting out to Sudbury, for example, for us this year in the identification process was extremely important. Giving the northern region an opportunity to showcase themselves not only through the identification process, but here by making the top 90, being in front of almost all 11 OUA schools has been a great opportunity for those kids to showcase themselves and bring those aspirations to life. Great location, like you said, great hospitality. The facilities are phenomenal here at Waterloo. Coach Bertoya, Coach Conway, Coach McGill have done a phenomenal job of hosting, setting this up, organizing, giving the opportunity for the young men, from meeting rooms to field space, having the U18s, U16s, U14s, and the U18 women joining us tomorrow all in one place, but having the facilities to do it. Waterloo's done a phenomenal job hosting us. I hope they continue to do this because, again, Coach Bertoya and his staff have done a phenomenal job of giving these kids and us as coaches the best ease and possibility to really bring these dreams to life. This is a great opportunity to kind of remind yourself of why you do it. Development of the athlete, development of the young man or young woman that you get the opportunity to coach. And being here at this age group for me, I've been at the university level now for a decade, and being at this level again reminds me of why I'm doing this, the real purpose behind the development of people. And our ultimate goal at the end of the day, win a national championship. That's what we're pursuing, competitive atmosphere always. And we won it last year. The whole goal is to do it once again.
For more local sports stories, check out 519 Sports Online. Darren Stevenson and his team work to bring our community stories about local athletes. Visit 519sportsonline.ca.
Still ahead, taking to the skies, we'll meet a pilot who was inspired to become one after the Girls Can Fly event.
I came to a Girls Can Fly event in 2012 with my mom. She knew I loved planes, and now I'm here with a commercial license.
Hey, Chef D here. Join me Saturdays at 4:30 for At Home with Chef D, season number 10. Thanks so much for that. Hey, we're gonna go back old school. We're gonna join Julia Child and Graham Kerr and some of their great recipes and share some of their passion with you. At Home with Chef D, Saturdays at 4:30. Won't you join me?
Cooking with Chef D.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Welcome to the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Stalo people. The Stalo are people of the river. I'm so thankful for the courage and resiliency of our ancestors who lived on this land since time immemorial. Each of us have gifts from the Creator, and our Creator has a plan and purpose to be fulfilled in our territory. As we embrace our traditional teachings, we can lead the next generation into the fullness of what our Creator designed. Our shared history reveals a broken relationship, but as all Canadians commit to hear truth, acknowledge injustice, we can learn to walk in our traditional way, Letsamot, with a good heart and a good mind. Then all of our lives will be enriched. Kwasai.
Finally for us, it's a full circle moment for a young pilot who's inspiring the next generation of aviators.
I've always wanted to fly planes. That was my ultimate dream growing up. And I came to a Girls Can Fly event in 2012 with my mom because she knew I loved planes, and I got to sit in the Dash 8 of a Porter aircraft, and that's what really sold it for me. And now I'm here with a commercial license and flying the young girls on Saturday, so it's a full circle moment. I'm really excited. I hope that they can look at me and see, wow, I really can do this, and I want to say and do and help them in any way I can and inspire them in any way I can. And I hope that being able to take them flying in a small plane, they feel comfortable with me and they feel like, wow, she's doing this, so can I. I did the Conestoga College program, so all of my ground schools, that was 2 years at the college, and flight training, it takes a little bit longer just because of weather and all of that other stuff that we run into here. But it's taken me so far about 3 years, and I'm hoping to be done in the next 6 to 8 months.
Slowly, I think we're getting there. We still have a long way to go. Across Canada, there's only about 6% female pilots, so we're trying to change that. We slowly see more women in our aviation programs here, but again, it is more of a male-dominated industry right now. We all have the same goal, and that's just to share our passion and really open those doors. And it's not just piloting jobs that are, available in the aviation industry. We have NAV Canada, Transport Canada, a whole bunch of different careers that women can have. The sky is really the limit when it comes to what we can do in this industry.
Wow, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this by myself, and it's really crazy to think that, wow, I've wanted to do this my whole life, and now I'm sitting in a plane at 4,500 feet flying it all by myself. It's a really cool feeling. I would love to be an airline pilot. I really want to do the long hauls over to Europe. I love to travel, and I mean every pilot loves to travel. That's kind of the first rule there. You want to be a big traveler to be a pilot, so it would be great to get on a big airline and safely fly people over to Europe so that they can enjoy their vacations and I can have a fun time doing my job. It's exhilarating, and it's so exciting that I get to hop into a plane every day and fly it and experience new things, and it's something that a lot of people can't do or say that they do. And I think it's just the excitement of being able to get into a plane and just being able to fly it.
That's our show for this edition of Your Region This Week. Thanks for watching. I'm Anandi Carol Woolery. See you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
This year, 2 groups of veterans and 2 teams of rookies compete to renovate 4 identical houses with their own signature style.
In the ultimate neighborhood knockout, we're gonna keep things fresh.
Get down and dirty.
And bury the competition.
Rock the Buck on HGTV.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself